Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
This is Joker, our favorite villain. Did I say anything wrong? Okay, then what about this one? Thanos must be your favorite, am I right? However, the real question should be why?
Why are we so fascinated by villains like Joker and Thanos? What is it about these characters that captivates us, sometimes even more than the heroes? Today, we're exploring a fascinating yet crucial topic that delves into the darker side of human psychology.
Have you ever wondered why characters like the Joker from the movie The Dark Knight or Thanos from the movie Avengers Infinity War so compelling?
It's more than just great acting or writing. It's about what these characters represent and how they connect with us on a deeper level. And even more importantly, is this connection really important for us? First, let's talk about complexity. Unlike one-dimensional heroes, villains often have intricate backstories and motivations. Take the Joker, for example. His chaotic nature and tragic past make him a complex character. We don't just see him as evil, we see layers of trauma, intelligence, and philosophy. This complexity makes villains more relatable and intriguing. However, it's important to remember that their complexity is rooted in darkness and chaos. Another factor is the allure of power and rebellion. Villains like Thanos offer a vision of control and purpose, albeit twisted. He believes he's doing the right thing by restoring balance to the universe. This sense of purpose and power can be strangely appealing, especially in a world where many feel powerless. Like really, consider this.
Have you ever wanted to change something with the way society functions but found yourself to be too powerless?
Or even just about anything that you wanted to change in this world but you know you directly just can't because you do not have that power. And then, you suddenly come across someone who is trying to change something and he has the necessary power too. This can sometimes appear to be very appealing. But, it's crucial to recognize the danger in Thanos' methods and ideology. Similarly, the Joker represents pure rebellion against societal norms. His unpredictability and defiance make him fascinating. In a way, he embodies our hidden desires to break free from rules and conventions. But his actions are rooted in anarchy and destruction, which ultimately harms the society. Our attraction to villains can also be explained by several key concepts. The first is the shadow self, a term coined by Carl Jung. The shadow self represents the unconscious part of our personality that contains our repressed weaknesses and desires. When we see a villain, we might be projecting our shadow self onto them, finding a strange kind of catharsis in their actions. This projection helps us explore our own inner conflicts, but we must be cautious not to glorify these dark traits. Another concept is cognitive dissonance. This occurs when we experience conflicting thoughts or beliefs, such as being drawn to a villain while knowing their actions are wrong. This inner conflict can create a compelling psychological tension that keeps us engaged with the character. Additionally, there's also the idea of vicarious thrill. Watching a villain's actions allows us to experience excitement and danger without real-world consequences. This thrill-seeking behavior taps into our primal instincts, providing an adrenaline rush that keeps us hooked. Moral relativism also plays a role. In complex narratives, villains often present arguments that challenge our moral beliefs.
To them, you're just a freak. Like me. They need you right now. When they don't, they'll cast you out. Like a leper.
By exploring these gray areas, we engage in critical thinking and self-reflection, which deepens our connection to the story. Empathy is another aspect that plays a crucial role. When a villain shows vulnerability, or a hint of morality, it triggers our empathy. We start to see them as more human and less monstrous. This moral ambiguity makes the story richer and keeps us hooked. But, it's essential to remember that these moments do not justify their actions or make them heroes. Think about Thanos' relationship with Gamora or Joker's tragic origin story. These elements make us question the black and white nature of good and evil, drawing us deeper into the narrative. Yet, we must remain aware that their actions, despite their vulnerabilities, are inherently destructive. While it's fascinating to understand why we are drawn to these villains, it's crucial to recognize the dangers of idolizing them. Villains like Joker and Thanos embody traits that can lead to chaos, destruction, and immense suffering. Emulating their behaviors or justifying their actions can have real-world consequences. In psychology, there's a concept known as moral disengagement, where individuals justify harmful behavior by distancing themselves from the consequences. When we admire villains too much, we risk engaging in this kind of thinking, which can erode our moral compass. History and recent events are filled with examples of individuals who have caused harm by adopting the mindset of a villain. From infamous dictators to modern-day criminals, the consequences of embracing such ideologies are devastating. It's a stark reminder that while we can perhaps at times learn from villains, we must never aspire to be like them. Psychologically, it's important to balance our fascination with these characters with a strong moral framework. Understanding their appeal helps us recognize and resist the darker aspects of our nature. So, what can we learn from both heroes and villains? Heroes often embody qualities like courage, compassion, and selflessness, traits that build a better society. Villains, on the other hand, remind us of the consequences of unchecked ambition, power, and rebellion. By studying these characters, we can better understand the complexities of human nature and strive to cultivate the positive qualities that heroes represent, while remaining vigilant against the destructive tendencies that villains display. In conclusion, our attraction to villains like Joker and Thanos reveals a lot about our own psychology. Their complexity, the allure of power and rebellion, the projection of our shadow self, cognitive dissonance, vicarious thrill, and moral relativism all contribute to their magnetic appeal. However, it's vital to remember that their paths lead to destruction, not greatness. While it's fascinating to understand and analyze these characters, we must never lose sight of the lessons they teach us about the dangers of villainy. Let's admire the complexity but let's reject the chaos. Strive to understand but choose to do good. So next time you find yourself rooting for the villain, remember, it's not just about them, it's also about us and the complexities of human nature. And always, choose the path of the hero. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the psychology of villains and the critical lessons we can learn, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful content. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Why do you think we love villains so much, and what lessons have you learned from them? See you in the next video.